Hi everyone. I was down to the water last night and I took this video footage. I want to share it with you and sort of bring you along with me, or at least on the outing that I had. I'm not sure how talkative I'm going to be, but I'm hoping that you'll like the different pictures that are on here, or the video footage. What first greeted me were these swans in the bottom right corner of the screen, and the group that are there in the middle of the screen. I really loved being down there and how peaceful it was. There was also this group of swans here, and I enjoyed the time I was there watching them. All those waves in the water are because the water level's quite high right now. And the noise that it made was kind of soothing, if I'm honest with you. Where I'm heading is up that pedestrian path between the grass, and it's a parking lot beside there. What we're going to see next are two flower beds. They haven't had a chance to be fully groomed yet. The perennial plants are back and gorgeous, but you'll see the dandelions and a few other the weeds that have grown up. Those flowers. Oh yeah, there's that squirrel that caught my attention. He changed directions when he heard me coming. These purple flowers remind me of Grandma Pigott. She had these growing in her backyard. Boy, that's a long time ago. I went down there around 7 p.m. and it was lovely the whole time. Yeah, here we go. The city where I live has some bike paths, and in principle, you could get anywhere on a bike in the city where I live. So the trails are part of the bike paths, and it's sort of like a two road with a dividing line, but much narrower. There's a whole subculture that lives down there with, dog walking and people getting their exercise. I remember being down there about 4 weeks ago before all the leaves were on the trees. It's just amazing how fast everything's come back. I know the camera was reflecting off the wall, the sun was reflecting off the wall off the water into the camera. I was trying to avoid it. It was also quite bright on me, if I'm honest. When I'm down there, if something's bothering me, like the trouble I've been having with my legs, I'm usually able to let it go after I've been there for half an hour or 45 minutes. They must have had the mower out. I didn't catch that when I was going around with my wheelchair. There are some areas where the vegetation has grown quite high and you can't really see into the water. I still find it really pretty though. The area that I'm now in is where turtles come back and have their young'un. One of the people previously told me that it takes about 16 years for the turtles to be mature to where they're having babies. It fascinates me that they can find the city and and be able to do this. What I'm going to do today is go further north than what I have in past videos. Where I'm heading towards is the area where people like to fish. I've not included anyone fishing though. I thought it would give a little bit of change of scenery. You know, where I'm at in this area, especially with the heavier vegetation, it reminds me of the outdoor education center from when I was young. I remember going there 3 times a school year, sort of grades, I think it was grade 3 to grade 8. I always enjoyed those days. I especially remember the maple syrup lessons, but I've always liked being outside, and I always really enjoyed that. I'm not sure if any of you are going to know what the computer game Minecraft is. It's a world where well, a computer game world where you can create different things. All this greenery, it's reminding me of the greenhouse that I've got in the game, and my bees that I'm able to collect the honey and the honeycomb from. It's interesting to see where the turbulence in the water is. And if you have the experience understanding where the water appears white on the surface because of how much turbulence there is in it, or how much how movement. It reminds me of some of the drone pilot training that I've done. I haven't posted a video of me flying my drone recently. I'll try to get to it later this summer. Yeah, here's the area that I was talking about where people, or we're getting close to where people are fishing. I was really glad that I was down here by the time I got to what you're seeing on the screen. It's been quite difficult with my artificial hips repeatedly malfunctioning and the pain that it's created me. Off camera, I was talking to a man that was right. There's a pathway down, and he had been right in the water's edge where it's sheltered from the current, and was really enjoying the fishing. So where I'm at right now, something really special happened. A dragonfly landed on the screen of my camera and stayed with me for the rest of this drive until I got back to my home. It was really special. I'm sorry about the bit of jumpiness that the cameras or this camera's showing. I ran the footage through a video stabilizer, and as long as I'm smooth holding the camera, the video stabilization does a really good job. But if I move too quickly, it kind of creates the fisheye effect, and it has a hard time sort of calibrating one frame to the next. I really like how pretty it is along here. I could spend a lot more time down here because of how much I enjoy it. In fact, I'm enjoying it just as much right now watching it on the video as when I was down there. I expect that tree being down might be the result of a beaver making its home. I've seen beavers in this area. They're fascinating creatures to watch. A lot of the wildlife, not the birds, but the ones that are land creatures, tend to get quite tame with all the activity that's down in this area. Further south from here is a yacht club, and just about a mile east of where I'm at right now is a restaurant, and there's trails down there. And the animals get used to cars going around them and people walking and biking for all that matters. The one man that I was talking to off camera had said how he was meeting one of his buddies here, tomorrow, to go fishing. The the buddy he was meeting was military, and I can only imagine the camaraderie that they have together. The person was all excited. It was their annual fishing trip. That water with white on the top, um, it's quite powerful. You really don't want to end up in it. I can spend so much time watching this. I find it really peaceful when I'm down here. On Monday, I'll be seeing the surgeon that will be assessing my hip joints. I've had the MRI of my hips, and it's been helpful in terms of eliminating a lot of what isn't wrong. And that is helpful. We need to make a decision over how to proceed. It's quite hard when the hip makes the grinding noise, followed by pain that keeps me weak or feeling weak for the following few days. When I was down at the water on this trip, I was partly recovering from all the pain I'd been through. It'd been quite hard. But how beautiful it is down there is what helps me live with what's wrong in my legs. Yeah. By this time, we were just starting to get at the beginning of the sun setting for night. I wish you could see this area from the sky looking down. It's really gorgeous, especially if you get a nice sunset in behind it. The city where I live is the major one, for probably 45 minutes in all directions. It's there's still a thriving mall, and it's not become like many of the other malls where they've been either converted to housing converted to office space or abandoned. Somehow, for this area, that mall has been able to keep going. It's such a paradox compared to the online shopping that happens now. Why I'm talking about this is because the amount of traffic that I see coming to town, doing their shopping and then heading home again. There's this whole little community that exists down at the water, and it's great being part of it. And people tend to say hi to each other. I also really enjoy petting the dogs when they're tall enough for me to reach while using my power wheelchair. It reminds me of when I was in the hospital following my hip replacement. There was a visiting dog program that came. In that 15 minutes or so that I pet the dog and was talking to the dog's owner were some of the best minutes I've ever spent in the hospital during my whole life. I really liked it. There's just about 3 minutes of video footage left from the time I spent down there. If you stuck it out to the end, I wanted to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I especially enjoy making these videos for people that aren't able to get out and to see this for themselves. That's one of the special things about being here in Canada with the 4 distinct seasons that we have. And just how gorgeous nature is. If you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about concerning living with a physical disability, please let me know. I'm genuinely happy to talk about what goes on and strategies I've used to overcome the different obstacles in life. I would love to have one of those houses on the water's edge and wake up to this every day. It'd be absolutely lovely. It'd be really wonderful. Okay. Thank you again for watching. I genuinely hope you've enjoyed this. And if you've watched this and you're having a hard day, I hope things will get better for you. Hey, take care, everyone. Bye for now.